Hi everyone, how are you? My name is Claire Anderson and welcome to Monday with Claire. I am the mother of the 13-year-old Caleb Anderson, who is the aerospace engineer junior at Georgia Tech. Caleb was admitted at Georgia Tech when he was 12. And every Monday I come and I speak a little bit about some of the things about gifted education. And I have a master's degree in education, and I also have three gifted kids. I used to own a school for gifted children, so I like to talk to parents who either are homeschooling or grandparents or educators a little bit about gifted education, or parents who have toddlers or little one at home and want to know what they can do with their kids to help develop some of their skills with their gifted and advanced learners. Today is right before Christmas, so I just want to do a little recap of some of the past videos right before the holidays. This today will be the last video before the as we go into the holiday. I will be back January and do some more videos for you guys. But today I just want to do some of the recap about some of the videos that I did before, especially when I talk about the babies. In the past videos, I talk about, the babies. For example, I took some notes. From the 0 to 3 weeks, I call that the getting to know you stage. That is, when you bring the baby home and you guys are getting to know each other, getting to know your voice, getting to know their cry, getting to know, the different cries, the hungry cry, the I'm wet cry, the I'm just bored cry. That's just the getting to know you cry for the first 3 weeks. I call that, there's just the getting to know you cry. And that's when you're building trust. That is a very important stage in the baby development, because I believe that in teaching your child, the first thing that is important is the getting to know one another, whether you physically gave birth to that child or you adopted that child. I believe that is an important stage in teaching a child, any child, even in the classroom. You will see that the teachers would spend the first couple of days in the classroom is to get to know their students, because without trust, it isn't. I think it's literally impossible to teach any children. Trust is really important. So the first 3 weeks in your baby is to get to know them. I would say from after that, I think from from month, say from for about first month 1 to about 3 to 4 months. I think I call that's the black and white. That's when the child cannot see colors around from till about 3 or 4. That's when I talk. If you saw in my last videos, I talk about having those black and white cards, the zigzag line, teaching that child to pull out the black line from the from the cards. That's very simple to make. Taking an index card, a plain white index card, taking a black marker and doing a straight line and zigzag line so they can pull out the black lines from the marker, writing simple word like more, eat. You're not really teaching the child to read, but you just trying to grab their attention with the black marker. Simple things like that. But doing that, reading to your child is very important during that time. Getting them to recognize your voice, their father's voice, those times are really important. Reading to them is really important during that time. From about from month 4 to 9, I call that the language development time for me. That's when all my three kids, that's when we practice things like sign language, whether it was, and for us, we have a French background. Um, we taught things like French, Mandarin, Spanish, sign language in our home. That's really using the synapses of the brain development. All babies have it. That's when they have, these fire things in their brain. I always tell parents, use it or lose it. So the language in their brains, it's just they have these things in their brain that just fire. They want to learn. So we utilize that. We count everything. We count their steps. We count their P's. We count before we pick them up. We count. We read everything. But we develop their language. Sign language, we sign everything. And we don't just, when we sign, it's very important because some parents will sign with their babies, but they don't say the word when you sign. I think it's very important not only to sign, but to say what you are signing, so that you don't, that you build your child language as you are signing. So I always say, sign it, say it, and show it. So when you sign. And about 9 months, your child should be not only signing, but I call that showing off what they know. At 9 months, the child should be signing back to you. By 9 to 15 months, the child is signing back to you. And at that age, about 9 to 15 months, they are learning, they are able to learn a new sign a day. And about that time, if you've done mostly followed most of these things, not only are they signing back to you, most of these children are usually signing, reading most of the things that you've been working with them. Yes, so that was on the first video. So some of the things that I covered, and then I covered about the difference between being gifted and being academically inclined, and how gifted is innate, and how they are motivated. They don't have to be. It's not something that force upon them. It's something that they are driven. So most of the time with gifted parents, they usually are the one that are tired. It's not something that they're they usually are the one that's begging for a break, because the child is usually the one that's doing the driving. They're not the one that's driving the child. Whereas a child that is the other child that's academically inclined, is usually the parents that's driving the child. That's usually getting the tutor and everything else. I'm not saying that gifted kids do not need tutor, they do, but it's usually the parents that's usually driving, whereas gifted kids is usually they're the one that's behind the wheel. I'm trying to think what else. Some of the parents which have asked about, when do you do the blending? Great resource that I find is starfall.com. Look in the past videos. I talked about that. Talked about resources like John Hopkins was a great resource. Mensa Kids is a great resource. I talked about, I think it's great to, I do believe in, testing your kids. You would test it to find out if your child have autism, ADD, ADHD. I do believe in testing to see if your child is gifted, because I do believe that, gifted is in the spectrum. So I believe in testing to see if your child is gifted, because it is in the spectrum. Some parents wanted to know, is it nurture, is it nature? I believe it's both. I believe it's nurturing nature. Is it 50-50? I believe it's 80-20, meaning that it is 20% that it is nature and is 80% nurtured. Um, so I believe that a lot of the students, there are a lot of gifted, I think there's a lot of gifted students out there, but it's not nurtured, especially in the minority community. I think, yeah, so I think there's a lot of unnurtured, gifted students in the minority community, and which is, we are doing ourselves a disservice as a society, because these students have the ability to probably cure cancer. Um, yeah, so I think that's basically it. I don't know what else I can answer for you guys during the holiday. We're doing great as a family. You know, so yeah, we're pretty busy. Caleb is about to enter his second semester of his junior year. Aaron, our middle one, just signed himself up to some Lego robotic something for the county. Our daughter Hannah is got cast for the Atlanta Ballet this year. Nutcracker, we're really proud of her. So we are pretty busy as a family. So we thank you guys so much for your support. And if there's any question whatsoever that we can answer for you guys, please let us know. Yeah. So see you guys next year. Happy New Year. Bye, everybody.